Today's episode's on setbacks, SI joints, and the gift of pause. You're probably wondering, hey, Brian, what in the world are you talking about here? Setbacks. And, for many of us, if you've been through an injury, you've been through something that you didn't anticipate happening, maybe even had a surgery like I did a few years ago with my bicep, tendon repair surgery. I've got a friend that's going through that now. And actually, it's interesting once we've been through that, how much wise counsel we're able to give other people. Before we jump into that, think about the setbacks that you've had. And isn't it interesting that it can take an injury or it can take something happening to us that maybe grounds us from traveling? Could be a sickness and illness. It could be something we thought was going to work out one way, a job opportunity, or someone even joining your team that didn't happen. And we take the step back, and oftentimes we want to look at what didn't go right. But it's really those opportunities and those setbacks that could be creating the setup for you. And I've often found in my own life, we don't really slow down. We're at this pace, and especially in the summer, if you're like me and we got 3 kids going in all different directions and things happening and travel and business travel and kids travel and trying to get vacations in and all this stuff going on, is we don't often slow down. So I think about these setbacks pretty often and these interruptions that we might call them. And even this last weekend, I'm working out, I'm training. I just had something weird kind of happen in my lower back. And I was like, man, I don't know what this is. I haven't felt this before. Of course, start going online and get all the pop-ups and things. And I start to realize, okay, this could be something with my SI joint, and start to kind of research and figure, okay, what can I do? Fortunately, I've got somebody here locally that comes over and does some PT, some chiropractic work. So shout out to Ryan. But it's one of those where, man, you don't know how good you feel until you don't feel good, until you have the injury. And I'm like, oh man, bending over to tie my shoe or certain movements would just aggravate it. And it came out of nowhere. Wasn't something super intense or a heavy lift or anything that I would have expected this to happen. Don't you think back to the last time that happened to you? Whether it was an injury, whether it was something that you went into a meeting, you thought it was going to go one way and it went the other way, and you left, and either emotionally or even physically, you could have been drained, or it's one of those setbacks and you had to figure out how are you going to deal with it. As I looked at this, it was one of those where I was like, one, why is this happening? Right? And you start thinking about, what did I do? What were the things that led up to it? And you start to diagnose it and start to, play back the tape of what were the things I was doing. Could I have avoided it? Was it something that was just bound to happen because of the training and the intensity that I'd been doing? And then I start to think about, okay, I move into, well, what can I do preventatively? Right? So that was one of my questions yesterday was, okay, what do I do to prevent this? Because, it could move back out. If you ever had an SI joint injury and you've experienced this, like it's very volatile in the sense of it could just decide to aggravate and mess up on you again. So I was like, what are the preventative things, right? And I'm looking at videos and I'm asking questions. And I think that's the lesson as we go through life is no matter what's happened to you recently in your own life. And for many people, it could be as small as, hey, over the 4th of July weekend that we all just came off of, you got completely off of your diet. You didn't do any of your workouts like you promised. Maybe you even drank too much and you said you weren't going to do that. All these things in your back, and you're going, well, how do I get back? It's just as simple as one decision. It's just one decision to get back into this. And so as I started making some notes here, I want to share this with you guys because this is really where I think we have an opportunity for all of us to start stacking wins and start stacking wisdom. What do I mean by that? Well, unless you've been through something, like I'd shared with you, I think it's been almost 5 years, now 4 years since I tore my bicep tendon. Freak accident, one of those things happens. But since then, there's been so many guys, especially, that have had that injury and have reached out to me, whether they were having surgery or they thought they tore it or they actually did, and they were going through that rehab part and that PT part of it. And so until you've been through it, you can't really provide the advice that I could provide in that situation of, hey, here's what it felt like in week 1. Here's what week 2, here's what PT was like 90 days in, 6 months in, a few years later, and you're able to give perspective to other people. So I want you to think about these things and let's reframe them as these aren't the obstacles. These aren't challenges and things that we might think, man, these are going to last forever, because 1, we know they don't last forever. 2, in that season that could be short, could be long. We don't know how long that lasts. Different injuries could last longer. Different setbacks could take us a little bit longer to rebound from them. Different decisions we thought would play out, we may have to rebuild and go a different direction. What are the lessons that we're learning? And I like to reframe this and think about, who am I going to be able to serve once I get on the other side of this? Because we know it's not forever. who am I going to be able to serve? And so that's really the part 3. And I start thinking about now, especially in the mortgage businesses, man, the things that we've been through, everything from 2003 and then 07 and 08 when everything changed, in 2010 with Dodd-Frank reform, you got all these things happening out there. And then 2018 was another very interesting year. Then you even had COVID. And now we've been through 2 years where people thought several times we were going to break free with interest rates or home sales accelerating at a pace that we haven't seen yet, right? Unless you've seen those seasons, unless you've gone out and been a producing branch manager and then actually tried to recruit and you've been through those seasons of recruiting, probably can't help somebody going through it unless you've actually built large teams and you've helped leaders grow and be through that. So lean into the challenge, lean into whatever it is that God has you in the season. And I believe that's going to be the actual setup that we have moving forward. So one of the things I like to do here, I wrote down, is control the controllables, right? And I think about in these seasons, oftentimes we tend to focus on, and I've been guilty of this lately, is we start to look at all the problems and all the things out there. And the reality is majority of them, if not all of them, are things we don't even control. So control the controllables for me is, what is my morning routine? What time am I getting up? Am I getting my hydration and my electrolytes, which I like to do? Am I taking my supplements? Am I go ahead and brushing my teeth? Like, do your hygiene, like have a routine that you're just stacking so many wins early in the day. You're telling yourself, we're winning today. We're winning today. And it's just at a clip that, you know, if you start stacking these enough, you start moving through the day. Could be as simple as, we're teaching our youngest son this, is, hey, make your bed every day, right? That's a subtle win, but it shows that you care about what's there. There's some psychology behind that and some proven wins that if you create these and you actually do them throughout the day, you're going to be able to pull from those as you go. You guys know this as well, as I love to move, love to get a workout in early in the day. Even today, man, it was one of those days where it's like, didn't want to get out. It's warm. SI joints bothering me. All the things that I could have made excuses. I said, you know what? I'm going to get moving. I'm just going to see how I feel. Well, about 30 seconds into the first run, I'm like, this is not feeling good. Turn around. I even posted about it today, and I posted it out there just to show, look, I'm human. I'm real. We probably all go through this, but not even, I think it was 23 seconds in, I hit stop. I'm like, I'm going back. I'm not feeling good. You know, I'm running with our youngest, and his ankle was hurting. My SI joints hurting. It's hot outside. I'm like, man, I can just go back. Like, I don't have to go do this. And I was reminded when I'd hit stop and I'd ended the run, I'm like, man, this is embarrassing. 23 seconds. I'm gonna have to look at that again. We started talking for a minute, just reframed it as, hey, let's just go a little bit. Let's just see how we feel for a minute. And a minute turned into 2 minutes. 2 minutes turned into 5 minutes. We're halfway through our mile. We finish at 10 minutes. And we're getting to the end of that and going, okay, hey, let's take a couple minutes. We're going to stretch. We've kind of earned this. And I'm just now, with the humidity happening, drenching with sweat. We run back. We keep the same pace. We get done. Funny enough, SI joint's not hurting as much. Henry's ankle wasn't hurting as much. It's all these things that we start to look at and go, man, sometimes movement is your best medicine. So start moving, get your sweat going, get jamming as you're there. So what you think about this is, you've got these setbacks that we've talked about today. Hopefully it's not your SI joint, but if it is, make sure you got somebody like Ryan in your corner. And then think about the gift of pause. And so as I was out working out after the run, I'm stretching, I'm doing some of the things to kind of mobilize and get ready to make sure my SI joint is healing. I just took a moment to kind of reflect on, what are the things that are working? What are the things that are going well? I've had a lot of conversations today, a lot of things that have been incredible happening in our business, but we also have some things that, look, they haven't worked out as fast as I wanted. Teams that didn't join on the dates I thought, production that didn't come on as much as we thought, production that didn't come in as much with the teams as much as we had thought. We're dealing with all of those things, right? You do as a business leader. If you ever think there's going to be an easy season, it's not going to be producing quality results in that. And so today's lesson is really just all about slow down in the moment, learn the lesson that we are being taught through that, whether it's an injury, a setback, or something that didn't play out the way we wanted, and the gift of pause. Protect your peace in that season, gain the wisdom, because you're going to be able to serve someone through your experience that you're having right now. And so that reframe for me is always great, because then I know there's somebody on the other end of this pain or discomfort or just season that I'm going through, that I'm now going to be able to be more equipped to serve them. So if this message landed with you, guys, drop us a comment, leave us a review. We love all of those ratings and everything on Apple Podcasts, because I believe these short little bursts and these conversations that we have, these would be like you and I just talking, having a coaching call very quickly. And if we were to assess things and you were to listen back to this, you're probably having some of the same things that I'm going through. I'm having some of the same experiences you are. When we share these and we actually connect and collaborate and have conversations, that's when we can move together. So if this resonated with you, let me know. If there's anything else you want us to talk about or guests that you want to have on the show, we've got a great one coming up this week. So hopefully you guys will tune into that as well. But these solo episodes have been a great way for me to connect with you guys, the audience, the listeners. Thank you guys. Thank you all of you for tuning in. We're starting to really see some lift. And so I'll tell you, as you share this with friends, as you share this with your colleagues, it is getting out there. We're able to make the world a better place together. So go out there and make it a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll catch you on the next episode. See ya.